Oh, oh, Lord. Okay, wait, come on. This movie, stop. I don't know. Look, this movie is a perfect example of why people should never get married. Now, I'm not saying that's what I believe, but the movie makes a very good argument for that point. And before we continue with this review, I just want to mention that this is my Christmas present to one of my new subscribers who, much like the title of this movie, brought it up unprovoked. And I had actually had Serendipity on my watch list to do a retro review of, but I wasn't going to because there was just so many other better things to watch. So it was kind of funny that the universe was doing that for us. Yeah. I hate myself for watching this movie. This should be fun. Serendipity is a romantic comedy from 2001 that doesn't know what the it's doing. It stars the very good-looking John Cusack and Kate Beckinsale as characters that have zero redeeming qualities and overcome absolutely nothing. This movie is the perfect example of cute, puffy bullshit, wrapped up in a bow of nonsense that is meant to sweep you off your feet and convince you that there really is only one person out there for all of us. And when that person comes around, no matter what's going on in your life, you should probably stop and focus on that person. But that's not all. You also have to do absolutely nothing. The universe will take care of everything. Oh, good. I mean, why put any work into a relationship? That's just crazy talk, right? Oh, I'm gonna pop a vein. Okay, before I start going off, here's the gist of this movie. John meets Sarah. Yes, John Cusack's character's name is John. I have to imagine that's probably because he wanted to do the littlest amount of work possible, and trying to remember a name other than his real one would have been too much of an ask. Anyways, they meet one fateful winter evening and spend the next few hours fawning over each other, wanting to bump uglies, but they don't. So I guess like half marks. Not because both of them have someone at home that they are in love with. No. Loyalty? Absolutely not. They don't do it because Sarah believes in signs and destiny and all that other crap, like if it's meant to be, it will be. And you know what? If you believe that, that's totally fine. I'm not judging you. I am, however, going to judge this movie because belief is one thing. Manifesting a belief as a pseudo character just to move your plot along is completely different and stupid. So basically, if Sarah didn't believe in all that mumbo jumbo, then these two would have just jumped into the sack immediately, as soon as they met each other. Oh, good. Nothing like a raging amount of adultery to really get me on board with these main characters. Who wrote this? Now, yes, I know saying that they would have done that is a presumption, as it doesn't actually happen in the movie. But the opening scene just bashes us over the head with these two morons just making all the googly eyes at each other, so tell me I'm wrong. This scene, like the rest of the movie, is filled with garbage that makes no sense. They shove down our throats this moment, this scene, this atrocity, where they're sitting on a bench and John's drawing on Sarah's arm. He's connecting her freckles, like connect the dots, saying, I'm drawing the constellation of Cassiopeia. And she's buying it. Are you kidding me? Yeah, okay. You try drawing on a girl's arm the next time you go on a first date. Try it. I dare you. Let me know how well it goes. Stupid. And then they do this whole thing where they go into the lobby of a hotel and each one of them gets onto a different elevator looking at each other, and Sarah's got the brilliant idea that let's pick a floor at random, and if we picked the same floor, you got it. It was meant to be. Yeah, she's a real winner. At this point, I would have let her doors closed and left the hotel. Peace out, crazy. Anyway, this scene also features this small boy dressed like a devil for some reason. It's Christmas time. And he's dressed like a devil? His parents done messed up. Moving along, these two absolutely wastes of space decide to write Sarah's number in a book and John's number on a $5 bill, and then they put these objects out into the world and say, if they come back into our possession, they will meant to be and we'll find each other. Yeah, I really hope they don't. The last thing we need is these two reproducing. Okay, so years go by, and now we get to follow each of them separately as they're trying to live their best lives. Oh, and they are both with people that they're basically engaged to. You know what? Good. If you found somebody that tolerates you, stick with that person. But no, we wouldn't have a movie in that case. Oh God, this movie. So John is getting married, and that tells me that he must really love this person. Otherwise, he's settling, and that's not great. You do not need a woman to make you feel whole, John. Maybe a different name. But of course, he absolutely is settling and spends the rest of his time daydreaming about Sarah, which leads to more ridiculous conveniences just to move the plot along. As an example, he's got this shopping bag, right? Because in that opening scene where he met Sarah, they met because they both reached for the last pair of gloves. They both ended up with one of the gloves. And John still has the shopping bag that the store gave them with the one glove inside it. Like, really? Hey, bud, do recycling once in a while. Take out the trash. You know what? That's being a little too harsh. I would be okay with him still having that bag with that glove. He loves this girl so much. Okay, he's going to keep that item. He might not keep that bag, but okay, maybe he keeps the bag. But you know what he doesn't do? He doesn't keep the bag on his bed under his dirty laundry in the apartment he shares with his fiance. You're telling me this girl that he's going to marry has been okay with this bag from years ago with one glove in it, just on the bed? She's okay with that? Really? Really? No, maybe you shouldn't be marrying her either, John. No girl on the face of the planet would allow a bag to be on the bed where she sleeps for the entirety of her relationship with this man. Or if she did, the relationship would be very short-lived. Oh, and Sarah, yeah, she's doing just as good. Meanwhile, we're going to check in on her and her engagement to rock star snake charmer John Corbett. Rock star snake charmer. Yeah, sure. Why not? It's a thing. He plays a fiddly-doo in his band, and apparently he's really successful because he's like selling out shows across the country. However, we only get to see him play once, thank God. But it's in like a dive bar, so the movie's already not even selling me on that BS. And we also get to be subjected to the stereotypical flower petals all over the floor to create that romantic ambiance. Which, you know what? I'm normally fine with that kind of stuff in movies like this. But when it comes to Serendipity, this movie has already disrespected me with its total disregard for anything decent. So now I'm trying to entertain myself and I start wondering, who cleans that up? Man, that's gotta be an awkward moment. You set them all out there to make it nice and romantic. You have your romantic moment. Clean up the leaves. Man, imagine if the sex was bad. That'd be like a double blow. Yeesh. Ultimately, the movie boils down to these two prolific humans continuing to parade around in their insecurity and pathetic attempts at commitment, all the while dreaming about what the other one must look like naked. John goes on a hunt for the book with Sarah's name in it with his best friend, which we also learn that these two friends did this years before, so let's just do it again, because we didn't get to see it. Yeah, there's a reason we didn't want to. And while they're doing that, Sarah comes to New York with her best friend, New York's where John is, to search for John. And of course, you know, inevitably she will find that $5 bill, and it's gonna be ridiculous. But the hook is, how many universal space boppets can they smack us in the face with before that happens? Yeah, turns out, a lot. It's so silly. And in the end, they end up together, sure, but they just fall into each other. Not literally, like they just come back into each other's lives. Neither character goes through any sort of arc, and neither one of them learns any sort of lesson or overcomes any sort of challenge. Why do I care about these two characters? I'm playing it fast and loose with the word characters. They didn't have any challenges other than overcoming destiny. Yeah, that worked better in Final Destination. And you know what? It's not even overcoming destiny. It's just hanging out, being ridiculous until destiny calls your number. But these two barely know each other and they're just gonna get together and everything's gonna be peachy keen. I mean, what if they hate each other? Oh my God, this movie is so insane. Oh wait, they did have to overcome a challenge. I forgot, yeah. They had to break up with the people that they were in love with for years. Great. So, like I said, the argument is very clear. Don't get married because you might find somebody better. Okay, but by the same logic, when you find that better person, don't marry them either because you might eventually find someone better than that person. Do we see a problem here? Yeah, that's called painting yourself into a corner. Perfect! Let's not leave it all bad. There are two characters in this movie that are decent. And no, Molly Shannon is not one of them. And with those characters, there is one scene that lasts for about 30 seconds. That's pretty funny. Jeremy Piven plays John Cusack's best friend, and he brings his A game like he always does. Unfortunately, that A game is in this slaughterhouse of a film, and Eugene Levy shows up as a salesman. Those are the two characters, and those two characters get to share that one very short scene together, and yeah, it was pretty funny. And then the whole thing ends where it began, as Sarah makes the incredibly impossible toss of a very light cotton glove through the air halfway across a skate rink and lands it right on John, who decided it would be a great idea to lay down on the concrete and wait. I don't think so. I think he was laying down and waiting for the sweet release of death from the common cold.
Yeah, I can't say I blame him.
Serendipity gets a 2 out of 10 from me. 2 out of 10. 1 point for Jeremy Piven, 1 point for Eugene Levy. The rest of this movie sucks. Okay, wait a second. There is one line that I actually have been quoting ever since I originally saw this movie back in 2001, because yes, I did see it then, and young naive Matt was probably just all like, "This is the best thing since sliced bread." Anyway, both of the friends, Jeremy Piven and Molly Shannon, at one point being dragged around the city by John and Kate, they both get to say the line, "They should make pills for this," which is in response to some sort of shenanigans that John or Sarah has done. Yes, I can still quote that today. They should make pills for this. They should make pills for people that are going to watch this movie.